Well, I decided the morning after a rain, middle of November, it's time to really get started doing the storytelling. I suppose as winter comes in, good time, long nights, probably get some fires going and start breaking these stories out. And I'm always been a storyteller, probably not that great a one, but good enough. But my goal is to get better. I believe this is a good and worthy story, and I want to share it because I think of all the difficulties it's taken me to learn some of the lessons I've learned, maybe even one more person can gain one of those without having to go through the hardships. And hell, maybe it'll just be entertaining. Laughter is the best medicine. Maybe I'll put a smile on somebody's face. So here we are on the edge of bringing the Gardens of Hope truly to life. And it's kind of been cool because most of the people that know and love me, or so they say, have had very little to do with this project. Even the ones that said they were going to in the beginning have really sort of been lackluster. But, the lesson of perseverance, maybe if I've learned two lessons in life, one would be perseverance, two would be the value of a covenant. And that's kind of what this little story is about. So I will get into my life as a spiritual being through this storytelling, but just touching on it, I was born and baptized a Catholic, and whatever that means to you, it meant something very special to me as I was growing up as a child, and I made some decisions and established a relationship with my Creator as a young child. That relationship still carries with me today. However, I have major issues with the Catholic Church, and I certainly do not consider myself to be a Catholic or a practicing Catholic in any way, shape, or form. That being said, I got an opportunity as a young child to study the Bible. I went to Catholic school for some period of my childhood education and was exposed, and I was forced to read these books, and I found some value in them. And as I've gone through my spiritual journey, I've traveled down a lot of different roads and read a lot of different books and experienced cultures and traditions from all around the world. Studied and practiced all sorts of different things to connect myself with my Creator. And I believe in many ways I've done that. And the one thing I did learn through this whole process is that I'm just a mere human being, and I only understand what I understand, and I don't claim to know anything really, other aside from the little tidbits I've picked up along the way. That being said, in the many times that I've read through the books of the Old Testament, there was a central message that kept coming through, and it was the importance of a covenant, a promise, a contract, an agreement, keeping your word. It turned out that was just a central theme that kept coming through and through and through. And I've gone back, I'm rereading it even right now, and every time you read a book like that, you'll hear something different. Any good book, be it the Word of man, the Word of God, the Word of nature, if it's good enough, you'll always get something. They call it a living book. Well, I agree with that. Every time I read through it, I get a new message. I go, wow, I don't remember that before. I don't know how it happens, but it does. And then I look at people in life, and I have had a lot of frustration because, I love people and I want to love people and I want to have good relationships. And over and over and over and over again, people say they're going to do stuff and they don't. And I just think that maybe that's one of those things. Maybe that's one of those things that is so important. And I believe if you can cherish the covenant, if you can take your word and have it mean something, no matter what. And if you can't keep a covenant, well, own up to it and deal with it. Change the covenant if you need to. Turns out that's okay too. Anyways, that's a little tidbit that I've learned. No, it's a little circuitous. I'm going to work on getting these stories a little more in a line. But as with most big pictures, little pieces come into focus. And hopefully they'll be entertaining enough to get with it. All right, well, this is another little tidbit that'll find its way in here somehow, and I hope you find it useful.